Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm Bumi, and today we are watching Heihachi Mishima versus Geese Howard, Tekken versus King of Fighters by Death Battle. Yes, this one was suggested by Josh Blackwell over here. And I don't really play a lot of fighting games. I used to play some before, but I was never really good at it. My video game of choice has always been first person shooters. Aside from that, I think it's RPG next. But yeah, it's never really stuck to me. But I have played Tekken before, and I can remember playing King of Fighters in where do we play it usually? I think it was during our computer classes. We would just log into what I think it was it in Y8? I forgot. It was some website that hosted an old King of Fighters where me and my classmates used to play. But yeah, aside from that, between the two, I've played more Tekken than KOF. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't never really good at it. But what did intrigue me was the lore of Tekken because well, if you're watching this, you probably already know that most of their characters have like intermingling lore, which was interesting. Well, they had a huge story between them, so yeah. Aside from that, I don't really know much about the characters, unfortunately. So I'm gonna let Wiz and Boomstick walk me through that. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below and consider subscribing. Again, we are trying to get to 1,000 subs this year, so hopefully you guys can help me out with that. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
This episode is sponsored by
Let's
Chewable
skip
Blue
this.
Chew.
Okay.
Heihachi Mishima, billionaire megalomaniac behind the King of the Iron Fist.
And Geese Howard, karate kingpin behind the King of Fighters.
These two ruthless businessmen are as talented at martial arts
as they are terrible at being dads. But whose fury will prove the most fatal? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The Mishima Zaibatsu is a multinational conglomerate so powerful it can field armies massive enough to conduct world wars. Its leader is the enigmatic martial arts master Heihachi Mishima. His goal? World domination.
This dude treats male pattern baldness like an extreme sport. He taught his super intelligent bear best friend karate, and if he doesn't like you, he'll strap you to a rocket ship and launch you into space. He's like a kung fu Wolverine Elon Musk.
He's... well, he sure is something, all right.
The words you're looking for here are ruthless and bastard, Wiz. Heihachi didn't like how his dad, Jinpachi, who looks like the Charizard to his Charmeleon, was running the family business, so he locked him in a basement to die and get possessed by a demon.
Heihachi built the Mishima Zaibatsu into the largest military development.
I don't actually remember
And believe
Jinpachi.
it or not, he's also a family man with a wife and child.
Sucks he had to kill his new baby mama with his bare hands after she got possessed by a demon too. A different demon.
Okay.
This was the Devil Gene, and it would prove to be Heihachi's greatest adversary for the rest of his life. Fearing his son Kazuya had inherited
Devil
the
Gene,
gene and his
yeah, that
terrifying
makes
demonic
sense.
power, he did what any loving, supportive father would do.
Toss his bitch ass off a cliff. If he climbed back up, it meant he was a devil. If he didn't, that meant he was A-OK. Except for being dead.
Which is basically what medieval peasants
That-
did to witches.
That was
Mishima are
stupid logic.
old-fashioned. Now truly alone, without love or family holding him back, Heihachi could focus on one thing: power.
And not just the kind that lets you finance a satellite in order to kick family members you don't like out of it, but the punchy, picky kind too.
Heihachi is a practitioner of Mishima-style fighting karate, based on real-life Goju Ryu, also known as hard, soft style.
Oh, that's too easy, even for me, Wiz. Goju Ryu combines hard striking kicks and punches with open hand circular techniques for grapples, takedowns, and throws.
Heihachi's fighting style is aggression personified, with such techniques as the dragon uppercut, slash punch combo, and demon scissors.
And if he really wanted to, he could impale you on one of his hair horns. Maybe.
Heihachi
What?
has even mastered the use of ki, or spirit energy, to manifest lightning, like in his classic Electric Wind God Fist. His ki can even enhance his physicality to frankly absurd levels.
Like the time he caught a bullet in his mouth. I'd say that's crazy, but he did the same thing to a tomahawk before shattering it with his teeth. How much of that blade did he swallow?
Yeah, I've never seen. I didn't see
Or the
this
time he got
part.
dogpiled by a bunch of Russian androids called Jacks, which all self-destructed, annihilating the temple he was in.
Yeah, he got up a bit later, infuriated, I'm sure, by the world's audacity to declare him dead from such a paltry wound.
Other Jack models were strong enough
Tis
to
but a
destroy a
scratch.
6-mile-wide apocalyptic asteroid and survive being blasted by a satellite laser.
By taking a look at the size of the blast compared to the height of the clouds, this laser was packing around 1.6 megatons of TNT, and Heihachi can tear through the newest Jack models like that hatchet must have tore through his...
Boomstick!
Can't stop thinking about it, Wiz. Either end that's coming out of, it's not gonna be good.
Ugh. After decades of dominance, Heihachi finally hosted the King of Iron Fist tournament.
And who should show up to
The
the
Tekken
fight but
tournament?
his son Kazuya for the salty runback, all grown up and definitely not dead by Cliff. Oh man, what I wouldn't give to beat the shit out of my dad and toss his ass off a cliff. Probably what Elon Musk's son will do after he finds out what his dad named him. Me and Heihachi are kinda similar. He launches rockets, he's super rich and weird, and I don't even want to think about Heihachi with a Twitter account.
Well, except for the whole martial arts thing. Musk is just some pasty lazy...
I did Taekwondo, I did karate, Kyokushinkai.
Oh man,
Yeah,
he's
yep.
been Heihachi all along! And that means his son is Kazuya. Someone keep their eye on him in case he throws him off a cliff. But hey, Muskie, if you ever host a King of Iron Tesla tournament, give me a call.
Despite his humiliating defeat, Heihachi returned to battle his son once again, and this time tossed him into a volcano. These people really have a fetish for this one particular kind of execution, especially considering it never works.
Beating his son ain't too shabby, considering Kaz is one of the strongest fighters in the entire world, even without the devil gene, which, surprise, turns him into a goddamn demon. He can fire laser beams fast enough to hit a satellite in a fraction of a second, and yes, this is the same satellite we keep bringing up.
Measuring how far Kazuya was from the satellite, his forehead laser would have to be moving at just over 1% the speed of light.
And the Hatchmeister was fast
I
enough
mean,
to intercept.
That's really unfair to use that, because by that I mean like the calculation. The definition of laser is being like, I'm surprised that it wasn't at the speed of light, to be honest.
The same beam in order to save Kazuya's life from his evil devil self. Maybe he had a change of heart. Oh no, okay. Or I could be wrong. Not after that. Man, they really hate each other. Even Heihachi's grandson Jin got in on the action. 3 generations of Mishima men bonding over throwing each other off cliffs.
After living a life consumed by hatred, the drive for power, and that, Heihachi reunited with Kazuya for one last battle to the death, and shed a single tear at his son's complete transformation into a monster.
Oh, he did care. Maybe all of that crazy Bond villain bluster was just a facade for the heartbreak he suffered at destroying his own family and creating a cycle of violence, as so many fathers have before him. Dad.
He fought Kazuya as he lived. A man. No cyborg enhancements, no devil gene, no whatever Yoshimitsu is. Heihachi fought his
Yoshimitsu,
little
that's
demon with
right.
nothing more than his stubborn, egomaniacal refusal to give up until he could stand no longer.
Those who live by the volcano die by the volcano. Well, at least until he magically comes back in the next game. And when he does, he'll be determined as always to rule the world with a Tekken.
Don't you mean Iron Fist? Oh, god damn it, Boomstick.
Yeah. Alright, this should be good.
Welcome to the sun-drenched streets of Southtown, USA. Should you ever find yourself there on vacation, you can rest easy knowing the Howard Connection Protection Agency will keep you safe from the clutches of the local mafia.
Until you realize the Howard Connection is the mafia. Top-tier business model they got there.
And in control of both stands the legendary Geese Howard.
Okay, Wiz, that was all sounding pretty badass until you said his name was Geese. What kind of dork is named after a waterfowl? The only worst name I could think of would be Swan.
Swan.
His absentee dad may be an Austrian terrorist, but the only thing he's blowing up is his son's future.
After Geese's mother succumbed to an illness they were too poor to treat, 15-year-old Geese tracked his father down to kill him.
Before getting completely wrecked by his half-brother Krauser, who was 9 years old. Oof! Now the ultimate scrub lord, he's found the martial arts master Tung Fu Ru to gain ultimate power and take revenge.
Geese fights with a combination of the deep, strong stances and hard-hitting combos of karate, the quick, deadly blows of kickboxing, and his primary style, Aiki Jutsu.
Translating to hard soft, which again, all too easy.
Okay.
Jutsu is all about throws, counters, and locks.
I get why both of them are like pitted against each other. They have a lot of similarities, not just in fighting style, but they're also both businessmen.
It focuses on using opponents' weight against them, kind of like its descendant Aikido. And you can't forget the shit-eating catchphrases. But what Geese was really there to learn was hippopotamus.
Japanese
Jesus.
speaking
With
English.
Hakyoku Seiken, Geese can absorb life energy, or chi, from the earth itself and mold powerful energy blasts.
His Rapukin rockets across the ground like a buzzsaw, while Raging Storm is a massive fanged geyser that'll devastate anyone nearby.
He can imbue these attacks with lightning called down from the heavens, or enhance his strength and speed to perform blindingly fast combos like Deadly Rave and Rashomon.
Wait just a goddamn second, Wiz. Did Geese just throw that poor man straight into the air and then patty cake his nuts on the way back down? That is pure evil.
Geese's master felt the same way, sensing his pupil's darker intentions. So instead of entrusting the dojo's most secret of scrolls to Geese, he gave them to his other student, Jeff.
God
Jeff.
damn it, Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Just Geese does. What kind of name is Jeff? Jeff.
Infuriated, Geese left Tung School to take over Southtown's existing criminal empire and install himself as the city's new crime lord.
Who, for some reason, demands to dress up in karate gi at all times.
Well, Geese's appreciation for Japanese martial arts extends to the culture as a whole. Music, architecture...
He's a weeb, like a buff
A weeb.
otaku Vito Corleone. Who do you think his waifu is? Himself? I probably would too.
I don't know, I appreciate Geese's tenacity and business acumen. It reminds me of me. Inventing reality-bending weaponry for black markets around the globe has done my checkings account pretty well. Like my Cyber Goose.
Mecha Goose Howard? Oh, please, Wiz, I've seen your student loans from Mad Scientist U. It's a sideways 8 next to a smiling turd emoji. And here they sell self-respect next to the dollar pizza place you like so much.
Despite being a badass crime lord, Geese was still plagued by inadequacy. So he took out his anger on the lamest person he knew, Jeff.
And he did it in front of his kids. I'm sure that'll turn out well in a decade
Damn.
or two. Wow, this guy has got
Wait.
to be the pettiest
Wasn't Jeff also a student at the same dojo? Or was he not as good as Geese?
bitch in all of Southtown. Next to Jeff.
Oh, you think that's bad? How about when Geese had a son and left him and his mother in poverty? And when that son asked for help paying for his mom's illness, Geese ignored him.
Wow, without a hint of
The
irony.
same thing that happened to him.
Successfully conquering Southtown, Geese hosted the King of Fighters martial arts tournament in order to solidify his position as the strongest fighter around.
Which he basically was. Geese is powerful enough to obliterate entire swaths of forest with his chi and defeat the reality warping entity Verse, who could create a hurricane the size of a stadium.
Even Takuma, one of Geese's subordinates, was strong enough to redirect a blast from the Zero Cannon, a city-annihilating satellite laser.
Considering the laser was intended to eradicate Southtown, which is a fictional stand-in for real-life South Miami, the blast would have to have a yield of around 1.7 megatons.
Ooh, that's
Judging by how
close.
fast it reached the Earth's surface, it must have been moving at over 2% the speed of light.
And that's faster than the Jin laser.
Unbeatable, Geese was finally confronted by Terry Bogard, the son of the man he murdered years before. You know, Jeff.
Now that
Jeff.
man has great taste in hats. After one of the fiercest battles ever witnessed, Terry defeated Geese and threw him from the top of Geese Tower to his
Ah, another falling
Bad, so
falling
Terry
one.
threw him off it again. You can't keep a good goose down.
Whether it be manipulating future events from the shadows or demonstrating his magnificent power in front of the whole world, Geese's tenacity will always strive to crown him the King of Fighters.
Stay down, maggot.
Interesting. Okay. Ooh. It's really hard now. These are getting a lot more harder to predict now. Okay. I'm gonna go with Heihachi on this one. This is mainly because of my bias and from, well, man, I don't know. They both have almost similar feats, but if I'm not mistaken, it was one of Geese's subordinates that redirected the laser, not him. So I'm not sure if he's that powerful. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Heihachi in this one.
Right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Ah, man.
But first, if you want to know how Geese and Heihachi got to be dads in the first place, check out Adam and Eve. Hey,
Alright,
What?
skipping this.
Free stuff.
Welcome to the final match of the international collaboration between the Iron Fist and King of Fighters tournaments. The prize, sole ownership of both the Mishima Zaibatsu and the Howard Connection. Oh, flagrant disregard of antitrust
Okay.
laws, but okay, let's go to our fighters. Heihachi Mishima! And his opponent, Geese Howard!
That was weird.
Mishima, your nightmare begins. Predictable. I will stain my hands with your blood, old man.
Let's go, old man. Predictable. Predictable. He said don't say it. It was dumb. Oh yeah. Yeah. Geese is getting a lot of wins early, so I don't wanna metagame this, but it's looking like he's gonna lose at the end, but we'll see. I'm still with Heihachi on this one. Should have said predictable in English, that would have been funnier. Ooh, he also has the same move. Wow, they're on par. Yeah, they are really on par. Oh! Okay. Or... Yeah. Wow. Wow, that almost got me. That almost got me. Holy shit. I thought that Geese was going to pull off like a last minute effort to clutch him the win, but yes, at least Heihachi won, so that means my win streak is still alive.
Oh, better break out the soy sauce for Geese, because this goose was cooked.
Both fighters had the brutal tenacity and martial arts mastery to push each other to the limit, but Heihachi just had the greater limits to push.
Sorry, Wiz, this one was obvious. One of them throws people off cliffs, the other has people throw him off cliffs. Kind of a no-duh.
It was not a no-duh. In fact, Geese's wider variety of chi techniques were able to keep Heihachi at a distance, and his ability to draw chi from the earth meant he could spam them for as long as he wanted.
But Heihachi has had plenty of experience with projectile spammers like Kazuya, whose
Yeah.
lasers are fast enough to reach outer space in seconds. He'd have no trouble getting in close.
Heihachi's decades of combat training over Geese also allowed him to learn and adapt to his Aikijutsu. He's even defeated Aikido masters like Nina Williams before, so it wasn't entirely new to him.
Ultimately, it came down to who was stronger, faster, and tougher. Both scaled to characters like Jack and Takuma, who survived satellite lasers nearly equal to each other.
But both feats were performed pretty casually by weaker characters, so what could they do at their best? For Geese, let's look at his fight with Verse, who created that hurricane.
By measuring its size compared to the stadium to get the mass of the clouds, making a storm that big would take about 1.8
1.8 gigatons?
TNT, about
That's a
1,000
lot.
times more powerful
Yeah.
than the Zero Cannon that could destroy Southtown.
But we're not done. One single Jack unit was able to destroy a 6-mile wide asteroid heading toward Earth. Estimating its volume and density, the energy it would take to violently fragment it is nearly 8 gigatons of TNT.
And he
4
survived
times
multiple
more
of that.
powerful than Versus Hurricane.
And Heihachi can tear
Yeah.
through Jacks like nothing, which is crazy because that satellite laser it reacted to was moving at about 4% the speed of light, twice as fast as the Zero Cannon and Geese's best.
Geese was a clever, ruthless opponent, but Heihachi's power, experience, and sheer bullheaded stubbornness allowed him to walk away the victor.
Man, this fight was so intense, it almost made me shit my pants.
The winner is Heihachi Mishima.
Alright.
Thanks for
Yeah, that was a good one. It had me going at the end there. I really thought that somehow, for some reason, Geese would pull out some miracle power that I did not know about to defeat Heihachi, but the old man pulled through. Oh, alright. That means I keep saying this, but my win streak is still alive. I mean, come on. When is it gonna end? I mean, who knows? Maybe the next one. I don't know. But yeah, that was a really good video. It made me more appreciate Tekken for what it is, which is a good fighting game. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go to check it out if you want to. And if you're new here and enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Again, we are trying to get to 1,000 subs this year, so hopefully you guys can help me out with that. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!